So I am turning on the stream, and once I get started, I will come on out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, deputies. Good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe. Can everyone hear me? If so, just nod your head.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good morning again. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe. We are now streaming live here on YouTube. Today is January 20th of 2024. It is approximately 11 a.m. And again, my name is Judge Marcus Thorpe. I'm one of the Associate Magistrate Court judges presiding over this morning's calendar, this being your first appearance. As I call each of you up, if anyone is having trouble hearing me, please let me know, because there are a few things I'm going to go over prior to starting the calendar as well as during, and it's important that you hear me. So please listen carefully, as it will help you to better understand the nature and purpose of today's proceeding. First, let me say, I am not here to try your case, to take a plea, or have any legal discussions with you about the specific facts of your case. The purpose of this first appearance hearing is to inform you of the charges against you, advise you of your rights, set bond on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bond, schedule a preliminary hearing, determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. Now, each of you do have rights. I want to make sure you understand. You have the right to remain silent. So please do not tell me specifics about your case or any legal defense you may have. As I said earlier, we are streaming live, and this is a hearing that's being recorded. And therefore, anything you say during this proceeding can and will be used against you in later proceedings. Now, during this and all other proceedings, you also have the following rights: the presumption of innocence. You have the right to an indictment by a grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your own behalf. You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. And you have the right to an attorney to represent you if you cannot afford one. And then I will appoint one for you this morning if you qualify. Now, for those of you all who are not citizens, some charges may adversely affect your immigration status. And so it's important to understand that you'll need to consult an immigration attorney. Now, as I go through this information here this morning, some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending the prosecution of your case. Now, these bonds can be made in three ways. You can either post bond through cash, commercial, which is the use of a bonding company, or by property. If you post a cash bond, someone or yourself will have to deliver the full amount of bond in cash together with any mandated fees that the sheriff's office charges, and then they will hold it until your final court date. At that time, your cash will be returned to the person who posted it. So the example I oftentimes give is if I tell you you're charged with aggravated assault or battery family violence, and your bond is $6,000 and you want to make your bond in cash, you would have to, or someone would have to bring down for your benefit $6,000 plus any fees. Now, if you do not have that full bond amount in cash, you can use what is called a commercial bonding company. Now, when you use a bonding company, that bonding company's charge is up to 15% of the bond for their services. And unlike it in cash, that bond is not, that fee is not returned to you. So the example again, if you're charged with battery, your bond is $6,000. You would have to pay a bonding company about 15%, which would be about $750. You do not get that back, but you'd be able to bond out. Then the final way that you may be able to post bond is a property bond, as long as there is a net equity in that property of at least 3 times the amount of your bond. So again, if your bond is $6,000 and you or someone you know has a bond amount of an equity in a piece of property, so in a house of at least $18,000, they would be able to bring the deed to that property down to the sheriff's office, where they will hold it until your case is closed, and you'd be able to bond out using a piece of property. Now, each of you, as you come up to me, will have the condition that you are not to violate any laws here in Clayton County or in the state of Georgia or in the U.S. while you're on bond. But there will be some of you who will have additional special conditions that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. If I tell you you have a no contact provision on your bond, this means you must stay away and have no contact with the victim. You may not call, text, email, write a letter to, or contact through any social media platform. You can't even do something nice for that person, such as send them a flowers or a nice song, as that would be a violation of your bond. If I order you to not return to a particular location, that means you can't go back to that location while your case is pending. Now, if that location I tell you you're not to return to is somewhere you lived with the alleged victim prior to this case, I will authorize you to go back, but only when you're with the sheriff here in Clayton County to collect your belongings that are not in dispute. And you have 10 days from the date you are released to do so. So again, if you're charged with battery, family violence, I tell you to stay away from that house, stay away from the alleged victim. The only way you could go back there is with the accompaniment of the sheriff, and you must do so within 10 days to get items that belong to you. Now, unfortunately, some percentage of you will be back in custody on a bond revocation because you didn't take what I'm saying seriously. And instead, you will attempt to reconcile with the victim. You will return to your residence. You will start to engage the victim in dating again. Now, I understand that is, something that maybe seem appealing on your being released, but please understand that if things go south and there is no change in the bond while your case is pending, you will be arrested again for a violation. And please understand that you are subject to additional felony charges such as aggravated stalking, influencing of a witness, which carry fines and fees, as well as incarceration of up to 20 years and $20,000 in fines. Now, if I tell you you have a bond and you intend to make that bond, please keep in mind that if the alleged victim is a person that is coming down to pay that bond for you, they are not permitted to do so by law. So you would have to obviously get someone else to do it instead. Now, there are some of you here who are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County. Also, if you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond. Whether a bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. Now, before we take the oath and begin this morning's first appearance, I want to say one last thing, and that's about what is called a preliminary hearing. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is enough evidence or probable cause to keep you in custody. If you bond out, whether you are charged with a felony or misdemeanor, your preliminary hearing I'm talking about is automatically waived, means it's done, it goes away, because you are out of jail and no longer in custody. However, if you remain in custody, you haven't bonded out, and you are charged with a misdemeanor, so DUI, battery, family violence, traffic charges, theft by shoplifting, criminal trespass, and you're still in custody, you have a right to ask for that preliminary hearing this morning. I'm going to ask you, if you are charged with a misdemeanor, if you wish to waive that hearing. What does that mean if you waive? That means that your case will bypass that hearing and it will move a little quicker to the prosecutor. It doesn't affect your rights. It doesn't affect the bond amount. It just moves your case from magistrate court, where you are now, to state court, and it resolves quicker. Now, I don't have any preference as a judge whether you choose to have your hearing or waive your hearing. And again, if you bond out, you waive your hearing automatically. Now, just one last, just sort of to go over that one more time, review that preliminary hearing. You will be there, the attorney will be there, the officer will be there, and they're determining how much evidence they have against you. If you are charged with a felony and you don't bond out, you will have that hearing regardless. If you are charged with the misdemeanor, I will ask you, do you want that hearing or not here this morning? And you will need to advise me if you do. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have everyone please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the information that you're about to give to this court, as well as any information you provide on your application for court-appointed counsel, is true and correct? If so, please say I do. All right, each of you may lower your hand. All right, Ms. Tolles, can you hear me?
Ladies. Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. If you want to go ahead and please raise your right hand, Ms. Toles.
Certainly.
Do you swear or affirm that the information that you are going to provide this morning and translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English will be true and correct? And if so, please say I do.
I do, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Good morning, gentlemen.
Buenos días, señores.
Ms. Toles, if you will go ahead and introduce yourself.
Buenos días, señores. Le voy a servir con el de intérprete hoy con el juez. Okay.
All right. So, gentlemen, each of you are here because you have been recently arrested for various charges.
Bueno, señores, cada uno de ustedes está aquí porque recientemente lo arrestaron por los cargos imputados.
And what I'm going to do this morning is go over with you what you've been charged with and how much your bond is.
Entonces, lo que voy a hacer esta mañana es repasar con ustedes de qué se le ha acusado y a cuánto es la fianza.
Now, I need to reiterate, gentlemen, before we get started, that that's all I'm here to do, to tell you about your bond and your charges. So please, let's not talk about the facts of your case.
Entonces, tengo también que reiterar que yo solamente estoy acá para repasar esas cosas. Por favor, no intenten hablar conmigo sobre los hechos de su caso.
This is recorded, and so the last thing I would want to do is to have you say something that may harm you.
Esta audiencia está siendo grabada, entonces lo último que quiero es que digan algo que lo puede perjudicar.
Now, each of you have several rights that we're going to discuss as well.
Cada uno de ustedes tiene varios derechos, los cuales vamos a repasar ahora.
Most importantly, each of you has the right to remain silent.
De suma importancia es el derecho de cada uno de ustedes para permanecer callado.
You have the right to a presumption of innocence.
Tiene derecho a la presunción de inocencia.
You have the right to a grand jury if it's a felony you've been charged with, or an accusation if it is a misdemeanor.
Tiene el derecho a la presentación de cargos de delitos mayores por parte del gran jurado o de acusaciones por los delitos menores.
You have a right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene el derecho a un juicio público y sin demora con un jurado.
You have a right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify for you.
Tiene el derecho a exigir la presencia de testigos para que declaren a su nombre.
You have a right to testify on your own behalf if you so choose.
También tiene el derecho de declarar a nombre suyo si así elige hacer.
You have a right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho a ver, escuchar, interrogar los testigos que se presenten a declarar en su contra.
And you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, I will appoint you one if you qualify.
Y también tiene derecho a ser representado por un abogado. Si no puede costear un abogado, yo le puedo designar uno.
Now, I'm going to also talk to each of you all about what is called a preliminary hearing this morning.
También voy a hablar con ustedes sobre lo que se llama la audiencia preliminar.
Okay. And at that hearing, if you so choose to have it, you will have yourself present, you and your attorney.
En esa audiencia, si usted elige tener la audiencia, usted, su abogado, I'm sorry, Your Honor, you yourself, your attorney.
And your attorney. And your attorney.
Okay. Usted mismo y su abogado estarían presentes.
And that is where they will review the evidence to determine if there is enough evidence for you to go to trial.
Y en esa audiencia, ellos repasan las pruebas para determinar si existen suficientes indicios para que el caso siga a juicio.
Now, if you make your bond and you bond out, the preliminary hearing I'm talking about is automatically waived and you don't have a right to it.
Si paga la fianza y sale en libertad provisional, entonces la audiencia preliminar de la cual estoy hablando se renuncia automáticamente.
Okay. Now, for each of you gentlemen, I am going to release you this morning. And so therefore, there will be some paperwork that each of you will have to sign with the deputies.
Voy a dejar a cada uno de ustedes en libertad hoy día.
And you
Entonces,
will be, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Stone.
hay una documentación que usted va a tener que firmar con los alguaciles.
And each of you therefore will be waiving your right to the preliminary hearing I mentioned.
Por ende, cada uno de ustedes renunciarán la audiencia preliminar que he mencionado.
Okay. But please, gentlemen, each of you make sure that upon your release, that you make sure the address we have on file is the best address so that you get your next court date.
Pero por favor, señores, una vez que salga en libertad de la cárcel, asegúrese que la dirección que va a dejar anotado con los alguaciles es su mejor dirección de contacto para que reciba bien las notificaciones de su próxima audiencia.
Okay. All right. So with that, I am going to have Mr. Mendoza, please come up first.
Entonces, con eso, si el señor Mendoza puede pasar adelante primero.
Are you Mr. Mendoza?
¿Es usted el señor Mendoza? Yes.
Okay. Mr. Mendoza, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor.
Bueno, señor Mendoza, se le ha imputado un delito de intrusión ilegal, es un delito menor.
Okay. And as I mentioned, I am going to release you this morning.
Y como mencioné anteriormente, lo voy a dejar en libertad hoy día.
Okay. And so when we are done, you will have some paperwork that you will have to sign with the deputies, letting them know you are waiving your hearing.
Entonces, cuando hemos terminado, hay alguna documentación que usted tiene que firmar con los alguaciles para hacer constar que va a renunciar a la audiencia preliminar.
Are you currently working, sir?
Señor, ¿usted está trabajando actualmente?
Iba para el trabajo.
I have work.
Okay. And how much are you earning per month?
¿Y cuánto está ganando al mes?
Bueno, iba empezando. Tenía
Well,
como 2 días. No,
I've just gotten started, so I've been working for like 2 days.
Okay. And so based on that, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, free of charge to you, okay?
Bueno, señor, basándome en esta información, ya le voy a designar un abogado de oficio para usted sin costo alguno. ¿Está bien? Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor?
¿Se podrán ver las cámaras después de eso porque me quisieron atropellar? Y por eso fue el caso. Eso
Could I
no-
see the cameras after this of the reason that because they were trying to run me over? That's what happened.
Now, remember, as I said earlier, sir, I'm not here to talk to you about the facts of your case. So when your attorney is appointed to you, that will be something you would want to talk to him about.
Acuérdese, señor, no estoy acá para hablar de los hechos del caso. Entonces, cuando usted reciba su abogado de oficio, puede platicar este asunto con él.
Está bien.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Mendoza?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta más, señor Mendoza?
Es todo.
No, that's all.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Muy bien,
Gracias.
buena suerte, señor.
Pues,
Thank you.
All right. If I could have up next, Mr. Arturo Morales.
Señor Arturo Morales, por favor.
Are you Mr. Morales?
¿Es usted el señor Morales?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Morales, you are charged with 1 count of improper lane change and 1 count of no license.
Muy bien, señor Morales. Se le ha imputado un delito de cambiarse de carril inapropiadamente y un cargo de manejar sin licencia.
Sí.
Okay. I have, sir, gone ahead, based on some information that I have, and dismissed the license charge. All you have remaining is the improper lane change. Do you understand that?
Entonces, lo que yo he hecho basado en la información que tengo es desestimar el delito de manejar sin licencia. Entonces, solamente le queda el delito de cambiarse de carril inapropiadamente. ¿Entiende? Yes.
All right. Do you have any questions about that, sir?
Muy bien, señor. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta al respecto? No.
And so with that, sir, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to go ahead and release you, but please do make sure we have the best address for you. You'll get your next court date.
Entonces, con eso, como dije anteriormente, lo voy a dejar en libertad. Así que, por favor, asegure de dejar su dirección correcta cuando salga de la cárcel. Así puede recibir sus notificaciones de la próxima audiencia.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Está bien. Buena suerte, señor. Thank you.
Up is Mr. Reyes.
Señor Reyes.
soy-
And are you Mr. Reyes?
¿Es usted el señor Reyes?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Reyes, you are also charged with driving with no license.
Muy bien, señor Reyes. También se le ha imputado la infracción de manejar sin licencia.
And as I mentioned earlier, you as well, sir, I am going to release you here this morning. Your case will still be pending.
Como mencioné anteriormente, lo voy a dejar en libertad esta mañana, pero el caso sí sigue pendiente.
Okay.
Okay.
You understand that, sir?
¿Entendió, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions about anything?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, well, upon your release later today, sir, please just make sure that whatever address we have on file is the best address for you, so that you will get your next court date in the mail, okay?
Entonces, señor, al salir de la cárcel hoy más tarde, asegúrese por favor que la dirección suya que tenemos en los archivos es la correcta para recibir bien sus notificaciones en la próxima audiencia. Okay.
Now, Mr. Reyes, please also remember that because you are making bond, there will be a piece of paper over here that the deputy is gonna have for you to sign, waiving your right to a bond, okay?
Acuérdese también que como usted va a salir en libertad bajo fianza, hay una documentación que usted va a tener que firmar para renunciar a la audiencia con los alguaciles.
Okay.
Did he say, I'm sorry, did he say okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, lastly, Mr. Reyes, are you working right now?
Y por último, señor, ¿está trabajando, señor Reyes?
Sí.
Yes.
And how much are you making per month, sir?
¿Cuánto está ganando al mes?
No. 2000.
The interpreter is going to ask him to repeat. 2,000, dijo?
Ajá.
2,000.
Do you have any children, sir?
No.
¿Tiene hijos, señor? No.
Okay. So based on that, sir, I am gonna go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. And you
Entonces-
will get that free of charge, to contact you and help you on your case.
Basándome en eso, señor, le voy a nombrar un abogado de oficio sin costo alguno para usted, señor. Entonces, él o ella se va a comunicar con usted para ayudarle en su caso.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta para mí?
No.
No.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte,
Gracias.
señor, entonces.
Gracias, buen día.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. And with that, Ms. Toles, I believe that is everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. You as well.
Bye-bye.
All right, deputies, I think we wanted to start with the gentleman on the closed caption. Is that correct?
Yes, Deputy
And it-
Ron, Deputy Simpson should be handling him at this time.
Okay, and that was Baymon, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Baymon, can you hear me?
Oh, Your Honor, this is Deputy Simpson. Mr. Baymon's mouth is wired shut, so he's gonna have to use like nodding and stuff.
Okay, no problem. All right, so Mr. Baymon, if you can hear me, can you nod your head up and down? Okay, so Mr. Baymon, you've got several charges here I'm gonna go through with you. You are charged with 1 count of hijacking a motor vehicle. You are charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 3 counts of aggravated assault, 3 counts of armed robbery, 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, 1 count of hijacking a motor vehicle, a 2nd count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, a 2nd count of a possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, a 4th count of armed robbery, a 4th count of aggravated assault, and a 4th count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Now, because of the allegations here against you, sir, I, as a magistrate court judge, am not permitted to consider bond on any of the armed robbery charges or the murder or hijacking. The remainder of the charges, aggravated assault and the firearm charges, I have made the decision to forego bond at this time for you. Do you understand that? If so, please nod your head. Okay. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a couple court dates I'm going to tell you about. Now, I also need to tell you that if at some point you are given bond, you will have special conditions, sir. And that's going to be to stay away from these individuals I'm going to name, that being Kiet Wynn, Sally Battle, Gregory Gray, Cedric Coleman, and Katrina Mosley. I understand you may know Miss Mosley and not the other individuals. Do not answer or respond. But all of those individuals you will have to stay away from. If you understand that, please nod your head. You will also have to stay away from these addresses: 5074 Old Dixie Road, 4950 Old Dixie Road, and 4896 West Street. From my review of the affidavit, I believe at least one or two of these places are a local convenience store there in Old Dixie, and one may be the address belonging to the alleged victim, Miss Mosley. Do you understand that, sir? Nod your head. Okay. So now with that, the dates that I'm going to give you are these. You have your first date's going to be your preliminary hearing, which will be next month, and that'll be February 26th of 2028 at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Your second day, where they will be considering your bond again, will be March 1st, and that will be of 2024, of course, at 8:30 a.m., and that will also be via Zoom. Do you understand that, sir? If so, please nod your head. All right. With that, sir, I don't have anything else for you. Again, just keep in mind those dates, the 26th of February, the 1st of March for your bond and preliminary hearings. You have no bond at this time, and at that time, they will reconsider. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. All right. All right, deputies, can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right, so what we're going to do this morning is we're going to try this dots out again here and sort of do it in order of, we're going to do, where is everything? The males in JOTS first, and then the males outside of it, and then we'll jump back to JOTS for females. So we'll still do male, female, but I'm going to try to bounce back and forth.
Okay.
So starting with, I guess we'll still do females first.
So there's Miss Taylor.
So I'm just grabbing them all at the same time. So the first one I've got going alphabetically. Now these are all on JOTS, but this is Esmeralda Carrizalez, Carrizalez. Last name.
Because he doing the jobs first.
Yeah. Are you Miss Esmeralda? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes. You gotta say.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Esmeralda, you are charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. You are charged with one count of loitering or prowling. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And so your bond amount for those charges for the felony violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act is $3,500. For the loitering and prowling, it is $500. You do have a special condition, ma'am, and that is you're going to have to stay away from the address of 6650 Maddox Road. Do you understand that, ma'am? Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I was looking over your information that you provided here this morning in reference to determining whether to appoint you a lawyer. But before we get to that, I need you to understand you are going to have a new court date. So if you don't make your bond, Miss Esmeralda, your next court date is going to be February 26th, 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., okay?
Yes. I mean, yes.
All right. And so lastly now, just to talk with you about your getting an attorney this morning. Do you work, ma'am?
No.
Okay. All right. So based on that information, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. And so that will be free of charge for you, okay? Okay?
You gotta speak up.
All right. Any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right. Good luck to you. All right. Next up, this is JOTS. I have Brianna Hall, Hall. And then after Miss Hall, I've got Oni Hart, Onihiart.
It's Hart. Hart.
So it should be Hall, then Hart.
Oh, okay.
You want me to stay right here?
Yes.
Are you Miss Hall?
Yes, sir.
Miss Hall, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass as a misdemeanor.
If you need to.
I'm sorry, what was that, ma'am?
Oh, no, I was talking to you.
Okay. Now, because you are charged with a misdemeanor, as I mentioned earlier, you have a right to a preliminary hearing or you have a right to waive that hearing. Remember, waiving that hearing moves your case a little faster, or I can give you that hearing date if you so choose. Which would you like to do, ma'am?
I would like to, waive it, but I want
Okay.
to do it.
What was that last part?
I want to do it.
You want the hearing or you don't want it?
Yes, I want it.
Okay, so you do want the hearing. All right, so I'm gonna show you did not waive your hearing, so I'm gonna set your hearing date. So if you don't make your bond, remember this will be your next court date. So it's gonna be February 27th at 8:30 a.m. and that's also gonna be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so as to your bond amount for criminal trespass is $2,500. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, and then lastly, ma'am, are you currently working?
No, not at the moment.
All right, do you have any savings?
Say that again. Any savings? No.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, based on the information that you provided to me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any other questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, so based on that, I'll go ahead and let you go there. That's all I have for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Miss, Hart.
Next up should be Ms. Hart. All right, are you Ms. Hart? Is that yes? Okay. So Ms. Hart, I am Judge Thorpe here, and I'm going to talk to you about what you've been charged with. Ms. Hart, you are charged with 1 count of prostitution, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of felony murder, 1 count of possession of a crime, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, excuse me, and 1 count of obstruction of an officer. Now, because you are charged with felonies here, I am going to set your preliminary hearing date, and that's going to be February 26th of 2024 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, as far as your bond, because of the charges that you are facing here, I am not permitted to consider bond against you, mainly and specifically the murder charge. The others, ma'am, I have gone ahead and put you on a no bond status for those charges, but specifically on the felony murder, I am not permitted to consider bond there. And so what you'll have to do is I'm going to send this information up to another judge, a Superior Court judge, and then they will give you what your bond amount will be on the possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, on the murder charge, and then also on the aggravated assault. The only charges I can give you a bond on are the prosecution. Your bond amount there will be $1,500. On the obstruction of an officer, your bond amount there will be $5,000. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. So again, your no bond on the felony charges. Your prostitution is a $1,500 allegation. The obstruction is $5,000. Your next court date will be February 26th. And then you will have a tentative bond date of March 1st, but that will be before a Superior Court judge and not a magistrate court judge. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Now, as to court-appointed lawyer, are you currently working, ma'am?
No.
All right. So I will go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer that can assist you on your case, okay? All right. Do you have any other questions for me, Ms. Hart?
No.
Wait, where my battery go?
All right, Ms. Hart. So I have given you all the information necessary. At this point, good luck to you, ma'am.
Yes. Miss Hart, I'm sorry, please. Oh, my bad.
And I believe, yep, that's the last one on Jot's female. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I got one more here. Miss Ross, Taylor Ross, and a DeJay Thompson should be after her.
And we have another one, Cynthia, oh, no, she's not.
Shantae Young.
No, she's.
It'd be Ross, Taylor Ross, DeJay Thompson, and Shantae Young are the final 3 on Jot.
Yes, yeah, we got it.
Female.
Okay.
Are you Miss Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Ross, you were charged with 1 count of battery. You are also charged with 1 count of obstruction of an officer. Do you understand that, ma'am? Okay, now, because you are charged with a misdemeanor, ma'am, you have a right to a preliminary hearing or you have a right to waive that hearing, as I mentioned earlier. Given that, ma'am, how would you like to proceed? Would you like to waive your right to the preliminary hearing, or would you like me to set that preliminary hearing date for you?
So if I waive it, I get a bond?
Well, you're gonna get a bond regardless. So remember, it doesn't affect your bond. This is just about whether or not you get to the prosecutor faster. So if you decide to waive it, I'm gonna skip over this hearing date. And then I'll go ahead and send you right up to the prosecutor's office. So it moves your case a little quicker. So would you like to waive that hearing, or would you like me to set the hearing date for you?
Yes,
I'm sorry?
yes, I would like to waive it.
Okay, ma'am. So I am going to show that you are waiving your hearing this morning. And so the deputies will have a piece of paper there for you to sign, showing that you decided to waive. Now, as far as your bond amount, the bond amount for the battery is $3,000. The bond amount for the obstruction is $2,000 for a total bond amount of $5,500. So the battery is $35,000, the obstruction is $2,000, the total is $5,500. You do have stay away conditions, ma'am. You're going to have to stay away from the alleged victim, Tykia, Tykia Allen, and also from the address of 125 Highway 38. Do you understand that, ma'am?
If you're not sure.
Did you hear me, Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as appointment of counsel this morning, are you currently working, ma'am?
No.
Is that a no?
No.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am? Is that a no, you said?
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ross. Well, with that, I believe that's all I have for you. Good luck to you, ma'am. All right, and next up is the Dejay Thompson. Are you Ms. Thompson? I'm sorry?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Thompson, you are charged, or you were charged with 1 count of battery family violence, ma'am. I reviewed the information that was provided to me here on your case. And there were some things that were missing that did not allow me to go ahead and make the determination about whether to go ahead and approve your case. And so based on that, ma'am, I have gone ahead and made the decision that we will. Oh, I'm sorry, give me 1 second here. I have gone ahead and made the decision here, Ms. Thompson, that we're going to dismiss your case this morning. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I need you to understand something, however, ma'am. That does not mean that your case cannot come back if the prosecutor so chooses to go ahead and bring these charges against you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. No.
Oftentimes what can happen is the prosecutor may get additional evidence, or they may find other things that then lead them to believe that they have made the decision that they want to charge you again. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So again, as of now, based on the information that I have, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and dismiss your case. However, please understand that there is a possibility of such matter coming back, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, question,
Yes, ma'am.
since her case is being dismissed, does she still need to sign a waiver?
He does not.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Young.
All right, give me 1 moment, deputies. Let me just make sure we've got everything here. And then I think it should be Ms. Young.
Yes, sir.
Are you Ms. Young?
Yes.
So, Ms. Young, I've had an opportunity to review the information that was provided to me in the warrant against you for your arrest. I will tell you that there were some things that were missing, ma'am, that I needed in order to make a decision and determination as to whether or not you arrest was appropriate. And so not having had that information, ma'am, I have made the decision to go ahead and release you this morning and dismiss your case. Now, as I told the young lady before you, please understand, ma'am, that does not mean that your case cannot come back. And so if for whatever reason, the state or the prosecutors, as they're called, make the decision to go ahead and they want to bring your case back, ma'am, they can do so. And if they do that, then at that time, ma'am, please understand that you are going to be charged again. But as of today, this case is dismissed, okay?
Thank you.
Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No.
All right, ma'am. So that's all I have for you. At this point, good luck to you, ma'am. Thank you.
That's all the females.
All right.
All the jobs females.
That's all that's all the remaining I have are all jots. So we can go ahead and get them started. First up, I have should be, I believe it's Parsons and then Rivers are the last two I'm showing.
Some of the females.
Yes, ma'am. These are all jots. I've got Parson and Rivers.
Yes.
Cynthia Parsons and Carteria Rivers.
Yes, sir. Okay, we'll bring Parson out.
Okay.
Parson, Miss Rivers. Who is you?
No, but she's still.
Cynthia Parsons.
Okay.
She haven't talked to them.
Are you Miss Parsons?
Yes, I am.
So, Ms. Parsons, you are charged with one count of criminal damage in the second degree, ma'am. Your bond amount is $3,000. You do have special conditions, ma'am, and they are to stay away from the alleged victim, Miss Tabitha Martin, as well as the address of 1132 Drawbridge Drive. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Now, as far as your bond, do you believe that's a bond you'll be able to make, ma'am?
No, not just straight out. I'll get this with the bonding company.
Okay. Give me 1 second, ma'am.
All right.
You need to write down.
Mhm.
You need to write down.
Yeah, when he said something that I need to write
Yeah,
down.
I'll just make sure.
Just give me 1 second, ma'am. I'll be right with you.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am. I just wanted to get your paperwork here so that I could have it in place while we were talking. So, as far as your being appointed a lawyer this morning, Ms. Parsons, are you currently working?
You know, I'm an entertainer. So yes, I work and I get paid like an entertainer gets paid.
Okay. How much
And
do you
for the
earn per
city.
How much do you earn per
It
month?
varies, like I do, it's really like secret that, like for Victoria's Secret, I do modeling.
Okay.
And then I get paid by, sometimes they give me in product and then sometimes they give me in money. So
Okay.
that's how it goes in the entertainment business.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Now, should you not make your bond, I need you to understand your next court date is going to be February 26th, and that's going to be 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
February 26.
Yes,
8
ma'am. 8:30 a.m.?
8:30.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
And that's going
much.
to be, what's that?
I said, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, next up should be Miss Rivers.
And we do have another female. Her name is, I'll tell you when you're ready for her.
Okay. Are you Miss Rivers?
Yes.
Ms. Rivers, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass. Your bond amount, ma'am, after reviewing your information, Ms. Rivers, I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. But I do need you to understand. Give me 1 second here. I just want to make sure we've got this correct, Ms. Rivers. Yeah. So I do need you to understand, Ms. Rivers, I am going to release you. However, you will have a stay away condition. Now, that is going to mean that you are not to return to that address where this was alleged to have happened, okay? And that address is going to be 5428 River Station Road. Do you understand that? The wing spot? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to release you because of that. Let me ask you, Ms. Rivers, are you working right now?
Not currently, but I'm about to.
Okay. Do you have any money in savings at all?
No.
Okay. So based on that, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning to be able to help you on your case. And so let me make sure that you understand this last thing before I let you go. When you are released today, later today, You need to understand that prior to your being released, you want to make sure that they have the correct address on file. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get that next court date in the mail, and you want to make sure that you get it so that you don't miss your next court date. Do you understand? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
You said 5 women in the car. It's something you said before. You said, you know,
It was a stay away from the address. It was 5428 River Station Road, the place where this was alleged to have happened.
okay.
Was that your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am? So again, I'm releasing you to here today. You will have a stay away order from 5428 River Station Road. I have appointed you a court-appointed lawyer to help you on your case. And because you are being released here this morning, ma'am, you will have a piece of paper that you'll have to sign in this morning. It's called a waiver of that preliminary hearing. Once you sign that paper, you're done today.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And the female that we missed, her name is Jordan Daly, I'm sorry.
Daily?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't have her as a female. Okay, give me one moment and I will pull her stuff.
Yes, sir.
She don't got to sign, right?
Um,
Yeah, so-
no.
Aquí. Yeah.
I got it.
Mm.
All right, if you want to have her come on up. Jordan, are you Miss Jordan Faith Daly?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me one moment here. I'm just grabbing your
So I do have a
paperwork.
question.
Hold on one second. Let him.
Hold on, Miss Daly. Hold on. Now, before you start, just remember what I said earlier. Let me deliver my information first. And be careful what you say to me because this is being recorded. And so you don't want to say anything that's going to hurt you, okay?
Okay.
Just keep that in mind once I'm done, and then I'll let you ask me whatever questions you got. So, Ms. Daly, you're charged with 2 counts. 1 count of theft by receipt of stolen property, 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. The theft by receipt is a felony, and so your bond amount is $4,000. As to the criminal criminal damage to the property, your bond amount is $3,000. So you've got a total bond of $7,000. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you are charged with a felony, your next court date, should you not make your bond, is going to be February 26th of 2024. And that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning based on the information that you provided to us, okay?
Okay, thank you.
The last thing I wanted to make sure I tell you, ma'am, is because you're charged with that criminal trespass and that criminal damage, you're going to have to stay away from the airport. So the only reason you got to go to the airport, if you're flying out or if you get a job there, that would be the only reason that you would go there, okay?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you don't have a reason to be there. This order I'm putting in place says that you can't go back, okay?
Okay.
Now, I know that you have some questions. Remember, I'm not here to try your case, and so be careful about what you said, but based on that, ma'am, how can I help you?
Okay, so this case, just not to give too many details, it obviously has to do with my job. I worked at Delta. I already came to Clayton County 5 months ago and I had a simple battery against one of my coworkers.
Okay,
And-
so remember, you don't, be careful.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, I put a property bond up for this case and they added charges. So these
Okay.
charges are added on to a case I already have and I'm already out on bond on. So I'm
Okay.
trying to see, can I put these charges under my first bond because it's the same case?
Well, even if it's the same case, ma'am, if there are added charges, that means you have an added bond too. And so that if I understand you correctly, what you have made bond on is the bond for those original charges, not on the new ones. And
Yes.
so, you know, even if, again, you've done it on those, you still got an outstanding bond that has to be paid on these charges.
So the
And so-
property bond, if the property does exceed the amount 3 times, can my mom still put the property again?
Now that I do believe you should be able to do, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay? Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, give me one moment, Deputy. I'm gonna switch over to the gentleman here, and we're gonna start, I believe it's with the out of, no,
You go right.
yeah, with the out of custody. Excuse me, with the off jots, and then we'll do on jots.
Yes, sir. Might want to keep that open. Until they get them.
With Mr. Bowman.
Yeah, one against one.
All right, so having done Mr. Bayman, I have up first off jots, Vincent Concepcion.
He's in a wheelchair. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
We get him.
No problem, no problem.
Like this.
And then after Mr. Concepcion will be Rodney Davidson.
Yes, sir. Davis. That's Mr. Vincent.
Are you Mr. Concepcion?
Oh, excuse me, yes.
All right, so Mr. Concepcion, you are charged in the allegation. I'm sorry. Hold on, go ahead. Listen to me for a second, Mr. Vincent. So you're charged with,
Thanks.
oh, okay. You're charged with one count of theft by shoplifting, sir, okay?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, you
Now, I've gone ahead and I've reviewed the information here that we have against you, and I am gonna release you this morning, okay?
Okay.
Now, when I release
Appreciate
you,
it.
sir, please keep in mind, I am releasing you, but that does not mean that your case is going to be dismissed. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you will have to make sure that we have a good address for you, so that you can get whatever your next court date is gonna be, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, are you currently working, sir?
No, I'm on disability, sir.
Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer that will be able to assist you on your case, okay?
Okay.
Now, you are charged with misdemeanors. I've given you an OR bond, and so you will have to sign a piece of paper there showing that you are waiving your right to your preliminary hearing, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yeah, I just. Wait, right here.
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. Mr. Concepcion. I sincerely apologize. I had you mixed up with someone else. Excuse me. That is my fault. Mr. Concepcion, your charges, they actually charged you with a felony by shoplifting. So I'm sorry, I cannot release you this morning. I do sincerely apologize for that mix up. But because you were charged with a felony, I cannot release you. So I do have to go ahead and set bond for you. So your bond amount, sir, I'm gonna keep it relatively low, however, and I'm gonna set your bond at $3,500, okay?
Okay.
Unfortunately, again, I do sincerely apologize. I can't let you out, so I'm gonna change up a couple things. So Deputy, he doesn't need to sign a waiver this morning. He is going to get a prelim date. That's gonna be February 26th of 2024 at 8:30 a.m., and that's gonna be via Zoom. All right, so do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so again, I'm setting your bond. It's gonna be $3,500. You are not going to be released this morning, but your next court date is going to be February 26th of 2024 at 8:30 a.m. And that's gonna be via Zoom, should you not make your bond, okay?
Okay, I can get bailed out. If somebody bailed me out today?
Yes, sir. I mean, if you are able to get someone to do so, yes, sir, you're able to go ahead and be bonded out. And remember, if someone bonds you out, you will not have that preliminary hearing. That hearing will be waived, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you. All right.
You have any questions of me?
Wait means be gone.
Yeah, waive means it's gone.
Oh, if I can be on. Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice day.
next up should be Mr. Davidson. And give me one moment, deputy.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Good afternoon, sir. Give me one moment.
You need to write down anything. Piece of paper and pen.
Parson. It's gonna be Parson. Parson.
That's it.
All right, and are you Mr. Davidson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davidson, you were charged here with 1 count of battery, family violence, sir. I've reviewed the information that was provided to me here this morning. There were some things that were not needed or some things that were necessary that weren't in the information I have. And so as a result of that, sir, I have gone ahead and dismissed your charges this morning, okay?
Really appreciate that. I just want.
Yes, sir, but I need you to understand, sir, simply because I'm dismissing it this morning does not mean that the charges cannot return against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
They can so make the choice to bring these allegations back against you if they desire, they being the prosecutor. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions of me, sir, before I'm done with you?
No, I just want to say thank you.
I'm sorry?
No, I just want to let you know, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next up should be Michael Hendricks.
Yes, sir.
And then after Hendricks, I've got Makai Purdue.
Hendricks. Right there.
All right, are you Mr. Hendricks?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hendricks, you are charged with 1 count of criminal damage in the 2nd degree, sir. And that is charged here as a felony. And so I am going to give you a couple things we're going to talk about. Your bond amount is going to be $3,000. You do have to stay away from the alleged victim, Miss Lakeisha McLemore. You're going to also have to stay away from the address of 8050 Taylor Road. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So if that's somewhere you were living, sir, prior to this happening, if you make your bond, you will have to be accompanied by the sheriff's office to that address to get any items that belong to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, based on the information that you provided, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, okay?
Okay.
Your next court date, should you not make your bond, is going to be February 26th at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
Yes, sir.
Again, that's February 26th, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom with a bond amount for that matter that I provided to you. If you don't have any questions of me, sir, that's all I've got. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Right, go.
Next up should be Mr. Purdue. Are you Mr. Purdue?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Purdue, you are charged here with 1 count of violation of a Georgia Controlled Substances Act, sir. Now, based on the information that I have before me, sir, I have was missing some things that I needed to go forward on your matter. And so I am going to show your case as being dismissed this morning. Do you understand that?
So what that means, sir?
Well, as it being dismissed, it means as of today, your case is going to go away.
Okay, so I go home today?
I'm sorry?
Do I go home today?
You're going to go home, yes.
What, do I get a bond or how?
No, not a bond. I'm dismissing it. It's gone.
Okay, appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir, but I need you to understand, if the prosecutor wants to bring it back, they can.
Yes,
But
sir.
as of right now, as of today,
Yes,
your case is dismissed. It's gone. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other questions?
When do my mother come get me?
So you should get out in the next 24 hours. So I can't tell you the exact time.
Okay, so she come in when she wants to.
If they,
I-
once they
I-
process your paperwork, she'll be able to get you out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give it a few hours though.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, yes, sir. Next up should be Wesley Poe, Powe, and then Corey Soul, SOL.
Come talk to me, sir.
Toe and soul,
You was at 7? Okay, you're not at 7?
I got Poe and Mr.
and soul,
Hey, Poe,
and soul.
Sit down there, you know.
Poe is on. He's up here.
Yeah, we get on the, and this how I can't see the phone to call out. I'll down on the court.
He's on Jack.
All right, are you Mr. Poe?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Poe, you are charged with 1 count of improper lane change, 1 count of open container, 1 count of possession of marijuana, less than 1 ounce. As to the improper lane change, you initially did have bonds on these matters. But however, so I need you to understand that I've have had a chance to review the allegations against you. And I want you to know we've made the decision this morning here at the courthouse to release you on these charges. Do you understand?
I appreciate it. I was gonna ask for a signature bond because I ain't got no family down here in Georgia.
Yes, sir, but I need you to understand. That does not mean that your case goes away, okay?
That's
And so wherever you are currently residing, you need to make sure that the sheriff's office, before you are released, has that good address so that you'll get your next court date, okay?
And I just gotta be all the way honest with you. When I leave here, I gotta go to Henry County. Me and my wife going through a divorce right now. She called the police on me. So I'm not gonna be able to use that address.
Okay.
Give you an
Well,
address, it's gonna be counterfeit, but
I'll be honest with you. Well, when you do get one, as soon as you get one, make sure they have it, okay?
Somebody
Oh.
I need to report to like probation or something,
come down.
Yes, sir.
Get them your address.
To the sheriff's office.
come down to here where we at now.
Yeah, either to the sheriff's office or, because it may not be indicted as of yet or accused. So I will come here first.
Okay,
Okay, now, lastly, I have appointed you a lawyer, so you will get a lawyer free of charge. Now, because I'm releasing you, you're going to waive your preliminary hearing. So the deputies there will have a piece of paper for you to sign, and once you sign that piece of paper, you'll be good to go, sir. That'll be it. All right,
okay. So
thank
I'm
you.
on all charges right now.
Well, released as in you'll be out on bond on these charges.
Yeah,
They're not gone.
Yeah,
Yes, I just want to make sure you understand that.
I ain't been in trouble in almost 20 years, man. I don't even remember these processes.
Yes, sir. I understand. I just wanted to make sure we were clear. So it's not that they're being dismissed. They're still around. You just won't be on a bond.
Okay,
All right. Good luck to you.
all right, thank you.
Yes, sir. And this should be Corey Soul, SOL.
Or so,
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Soul, you are charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property, 1 count of battery, family violence, 1 count of cruelty to children, 1 count of obstruction, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of theft by taking, and 1 count of obstruction. The criminal damage carries a bond amount of $1,500. The battery, $3,500. The cruelty to children, $3,500. The obstruction, $5,000. The theft, $2,000. The obstruction, $5,000. And the kidnapping, sir, because of those charges, you are on a no bond status. Now, if you are eventually given a bond on the kidnapping and you make that bond, you will have special stay away conditions, and that is to stay away from both Naya and Naomi Broughton, Broughton. Do you understand that?
He's supposed to be going.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, now listen, I'm gonna let you talk, but remember, be careful about what you say to me, okay?
Yeah. They can't.
All right,
You know,
Go ahead.
no reason why that happened, state by law, I got a DNA, but I ain't have my, my ID when she came home.
sir, we don't want to do that. Let's not do that.
I have a question.
Don't anything about the procedure, but you don't want to get into the facts of your case.
That's all right. So I ain't gonna have a bond yet. I tell you.
Not yet, sir. You're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna give you a couple court dates here in a moment, and that's where you will talk to them about your bond at that time. Okay? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your next upcoming court dates are gonna be the following. You're gonna have one court date. It's gonna be February 26th. And that's going to be 2024 at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. That's going to be for your bond hearing. Okay. Okay. Again, that's February 26th, 8:30 a.m. And that's via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, after you have that the preliminary hearing, your bond hearing is going to be March 1st, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. And that's also going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. You said be what?
Zoom is going to be on Zoom like we are now. So you're going to have your preliminary hearing February 26th, your bond hearing March 1st. Both will be at 8:30 a.m. Both will be via Zoom. And I have given you a lawyer this morning, okay?
All right.
Any other questions I can answer for you?
I'm sure.
All right, sir. I believe that's all I have for you.
You have lost me. Seven.
All right. Next up, I think it's Smith. Yep, I got DeMontez Smith next. And after Smith, I've got Jaquavius Spencer. All right, are you Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you were charged with one count of violation of a Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Based on the information that I had here this morning, I am going to go ahead and dismiss your charges against you based on some information or lack thereof that I had. Now, let me be clear, sir, that does not mean that your case is going away. So that if the prosecutor decides that they have additional information, they can decide to bring your case back against you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me about anything, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so based on that, sir, I'm gonna go ahead again. You'll be released sometime here later today. But please keep an eye out. This may end up coming back. All right, that's all I have for you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up should be Spencer.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. And after Spencer will be Josiah Williams. Mr. Spencer, I have reviewed the charges against you. You all were charged with one count of sexual battery. Let me be clear about something to you, Mr. Spencer. We tossed this back and forth, but there's some significant information missing here that I needed in order to move forward on your case. Now, because I don't have that information, I can't keep forward on this charge. But I want you to understand this can come back, okay? So don't assume just because you're being released today that this charge is going to go away. So please keep an eye out. Please, be aware that is a possibility. But as of today, your case has been dismissed and you will be released. Okay.
Thank you. So
Yes, sir.
I'll be released and sent home today.
Yeah. Should be in the next 24 hours, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Next up should be Mr. Josiah Williams. Are you Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, you are charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce, one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Your bond amount for the marijuana is $1,000. For the felony firearm, it's $8,000 for a total of $9,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
How much are you making per month working, sir?
Probably 3,500.
Okay. So based on that, sir, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So that means if you want a lawyer in your case, you will have to hire your own. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Judge, can I ask you a question real quick?
You sure can, but remember, before you ask it, be careful what you ask. You don't want to talk about your case to me, okay?
How much is 10% of the $8,000 bond?
It was going to be $9,000, so you'll have to do about 15%. So you're looking at roughly about $1,000 you'd have to come up with from a bonding company.
So in total, that's $1,300.
Between about 1,000 and 1,200 is what I would guess. But they would tell you exact amounts if once you would get in contact with the bonding company.
Yes, sir.
But you're looking somewhere between about 1,000 and 1,200. Okay. All right, sir. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Next up, I have Victor Willis, and that should be the last off jots. Mr. Willis, are you Mr. Willis?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Willis, you are charged with one count of obstruction of an officer, one count of driving with no tag, one count of disorderly conduct, and one count of obstruction. The bond amount on the obstruction is $2,000. On the tag, 500, on the disorderly conduct, 1,500, and on the obstruction, another 2,000. And so your total bond amount, sir, is $6,000, okay? Did you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, now, because of the information you provided, I've gone ahead and appointed you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning that will help you on your case. You are charged with misdemeanors, and that means that you have a right to that preliminary hearing I spoke of earlier, or you can waive the hearing, and I can go ahead and send your case faster up to the prosecutor. Which would you like me to do? Would you like to waive that hearing or keep that hearing?
If I do the hearing, I don't get bail.
Well, you already have bond. Your bond is 6,000. So if you can make the bond, you can get out. The hearing is just a hearing that if you don't make it and you're still in, that's where the officer, you and your attorney will be present to review the evidence to make sure there's nothing to do against you.
Okay. Oh, no, it's cool. We can waive it.
Okay. All right, sir. So I'm going to show that you are waiving your right to that preliminary hearing here this morning. And so the deputies there will have a piece of paper for you to sign. Once you sign that piece of paper, that's all I've got for you this morning, sir.
Okay, and you said 6,000 with a bail bond. That's around what you said earlier.
It'll be about $750.
Okay, bet. You don't know how, you don't work here. I can get out today. Bet.
Come on, sir.
I can ask one more question.
Yes, sir.
You know where I have to go get my car from?
No.
Nah, you don't know that. All right,
What?
one more
I
question.
couldn't hear what he was saying. Go ahead.
All right, one more question. Never mind, I ain't gonna ask that. All right, appreciate it.
All right. All right, give me one moment, deputy.
Yes, sir.
We can't.
If you want, hey, Mary, you can go ahead and bring it back. Alice, Austin. Yeah, that's a big one. Oh, well, no, you can't. But you can't. Okay, so I can leave you go.
Alexander.
We should be on dots now. First up, I've got Jonathan Alexander.
Yes, sir, Alexander.
And then after that, I've got Alfred Austin. Are you Mr. Alexander?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Alexander, you are charged with one count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you are charged with a felony, sir, you will have a preliminary hearing. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be February 26th at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
Okay.
Now, as far as your bond amount, sir, your bond is $8,000. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Now, then lastly, in reference to whether you a court-appointed lawyer, because you are currently not working, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer to assist you on your case, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions of me about anything?
No, sir.
All right, sir. Well, that's all I have for you, so good luck to you.
Mr. Austin.
Alexander, go sign.
And then after Austin should be Michael Bargeron and Arnold Bruce.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you Mr. Austin?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Austin, give me 1 second here. Mr. Austin, you are charged with one count of driving with no insurance, which carries a bond amount of $1,000. One count of driving with a suspended license, which carries a bond amount of $1,500. One count of possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce, which carries a bond amount of $1,000. You then have 6 counts of identity fraud, 3 counts of forgery in the third, and 3 counts of financial transaction card forgery. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, because you are charged with felonies, sir, I need you to understand that if you do not make your bond, your next court date is going to be February 26th, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom here in the Clayton County Jail. Do you understand that? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, now, your total bond with those charges I just gave you, sir, is $45,000. Do you understand that?
45,000.
Yes, sir. I have gone ahead, based on the information that you provided this morning, I have gone ahead and appointed you a lawyer this morning. You will have a lawyer free of charge to help you on your case, okay?
Why so high?
I'm sorry?
Why is the bond so high?
Well, sir, it's because of the number of charges. I'll be honest with you. I mean, you've got multitude of charges here, and when they add up to a pretty significant amount there. Okay? Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Okay, any other questions with me, sir?
No.
All right, sir. Well, that is all I have for you. Good luck to you. All right, next up should be Bargeron, and then after Mr. Bargeron, Mr. Bruce. All right, are you Mr. Bargeron?
Yes, sir.
And I apologize. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, sir. How do you pronounce your name?
Bargeron.
Okay, Bargeron. Got it. So, Mr. Bargeron, you are charged with 1 count of theft by receipt of stolen property, 1 count of possession of marijuana, 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of an illegal weapon, and possession of a controlled substance. Because you are charged with a felony, sir, your next court date is going to be February 26th at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
That'll be my preliminary?
Yes, sir. That'll be your preliminary.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go through this bond. That theft by receipt of stolen property, sir, I have dismissed that charge against you. So as of today, that charge is not going to be pending. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the remaining charges, I'm going to tell you the amount per charge. The possession of less than 1 ounce is a $500 bond. The firearm during the commission of a felony is $8,000. The convicted felon charge is $8,000. The illegal weapon charge is $8,000. The illegal use of a weapon is $8,000, and the possession of a Schedule I drug substance is $5,000 for a total bond of $37,500. Okay. Now, I understand that you are currently working. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So based on that information, sir, I'm unable to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer, so you will have to hire your own if you so desire for your case, okay?
Yes, sir.
So with that, sir, I believe that's everything that I have for you this morning. I have appointed you a lawyer. Your bond is $37,500. Your next court date is going to be the 26th at 8:30 a.m. in the month of February. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
All right, sir. That is all I have for you. Good luck to you. All right, next up should be Mr. Bruce. All right, are you Mr. Bruce?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bruce, you are charged with 1 count of improper lane change, 1 count of driving with a suspended license, 1 count of driving a motor vehicle with an invalid tag. And then you're also charged with failure to change your address on your license. Now, I reviewed all of the charges against you here this morning, sir. I am going to go ahead and dismiss that charge here regarding the change of address. On the remaining charges, Mr. Campbell, I reviewed them this morning, and I am going to release you on those charges. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, I need to be clear. That does not mean that those charges are going away. All it simply means is that you will need to, upon your release, make sure that whatever the last known address, not last known, but this address that you have here in Clayton County or in the state of Georgia, is an address that you can be reached at and that you can get mail at, because you want to make sure that whatever that address is, that's an address that you'll be able to get mail, so you'll know what the next court date is going to be. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me about anything?
No, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir. With that, I believe that's all I have for you. Okay.
Sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right, and that was Campbell. After Campbell, I'm showing George Counts and Norris Dozier.
Oh, Dozier?
Counts, then Dozier.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing that, sir. Just give me 1 second here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dozier. Yeah.
think we do, what's your name, sir?
George Counts.
Okay. Give me 1 second, sir. Give me 1 second.
Yes, Your Honor.
And deputies, I'm sorry, I skipped over Mr. Arnold. If we can throw him in there too.
Mr. Who?
I had a Bruce Ray Arnold.
You just did him, sir?
Oh,
That's Arnold.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to confuse.
okay, okay. Okay, I got it. All right, so then, did we do, and we just did Campbell as well.
Campbell? No, we haven't did Campbell yet. Right now.
Okay, so that, I think that was where the mix up. Okay, then I was wrong. I was wrong. Can I get Mr. Arnold back up? Bruce Ray Arnold?
Oh, you need him back?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Cause he was at,
Yeah, that's why he looked confused.
Okay,
I was wrong.
we gotta go get him, sir.
That's no problem. In the meantime, I could do one if you got counts right there until Arnold gets
Yeah,
back.
count, come on. Yes, we have count.
Yeah, I knew, he didn't say anything and I said, I knew something wasn't right. All right, so you're Mr. Counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Counts, you are charged with 1 count of theft by receipt of stolen property, 1 count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Counts, are you currently working?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And you're making, it says here, about $2,400 a month, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so based on that, sir, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. So if you would like a lawyer, that means you will have to get your own. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about that, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Now, what I want to do, Mr. Counts, is make sure that you understand you got your court-appointed lawyer, you know what your next court date is, the bond amount. For a theft by receipt of stolen charge, your bond amount is $4,000. For the possession of the felony drug, $3,500, and the firearm, $8,000, for a total amount of $15,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And we have made the decision that you will have to hire your own lawyer. Do you have any other questions of me at this time, sir?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Counts, that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go to him. We just gonna keep moving to, they bring him back up.
Okay, no problem. Who do you have next?
Mr. Curtis,
All right.
Arteria Curtis.
And do you have a Campbell?
Yes, we do. You want him first?
We can do Curtis and then do Campbell. Are you Mr. Curtis?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Curtis, you have 1 charge here of improper lane change. You have 1 charge here of giving a false name, 1 charge of driving with a suspended license, and 1 charge of possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. The bond amount, for improper lane change is $500. The false name, $1,500. The driving with a suspended license, $1,500. And the marijuana is $1,000. Your total bond amount, sir, is $4,500. Do you understand that?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, Mr. Curtis, what I have here is your information in regards to your court-appointed counsel. I have here that you're making about $2,000 a month. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe a little bit less.
Okay. Do you have any children, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, sir?
I thought they gave me a 5,600 bond yesterday. I thought my wife already paid it, but y'all taking it down, so it must not have been paid yet, a process or what?
That might be a question for the folks over at the jail. I just have what's in front of me. Typically, depending on when they send this to me, it could very well be that it has been paid. I can't tell you as of right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but let me ask you this: since you believe it's paid already, then I presume that you don't want a preliminary hearing?
Yeah, I don't, because I'm waiting. I thought my wife already, I thought it was in process already.
Okay, so I'm gonna show here that you are waiving your preliminary hearing, sir, this morning. And so a couple things we need to make sure of. Your bond amount, we've already talked about. That's gonna be $4,500. You're gonna have to hire your own lawyer, and you are waiving your preliminary hearing, okay?
Yep, yes, sir.
You have any questions for me about anything, sir?
When they're gonna know if it's my paperwork process yet?
Well, that- Sheriff's office will have to tell you that, sir. I won't be able to advise you that myself.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay?
All right.
All right, good luck. Yes, sir, good luck to you.
We got Mr. Bruce back, sir.
Hey, bro.
All right.
He said.
Yeah.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
Bruce Arnold.
I don't know.
Arnold?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me 1 second here. All right, so Mr. Arnold, I want to make sure, I may have told you some incorrect information, so I want to make sure I tell you the correct information. You are charged with 1 count, sir, of criminal trespass, okay?
How so?
1 count of criminal trespass. Now, because you are charged with a misdemeanor, sir, you have a right to that preliminary hearing I mentioned earlier, or you could waive that preliminary hearing. Would you like to have your hearing or waive that hearing?
Is this from the first?
Say that
I just did 50 days. My SSI car came to my house and do it by the car with my car, so I fit tires. How is that? That's cut in the prices, right? I mean, I cut my property higher. How much?
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, sir, just to protect you, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set that preliminary hearing date for you. In case you don't make your bond, it's gonna be on February 27th at 8:30, okay?
I'm bullshit. All right.
Come on. Hold on, Mr. Arnold. Hold on.
Calm down.
Hold on, Mr. Arnold. Your bond amount is gonna be $2,500 in case you need it to make out, okay? Do you understand that,
I
Mr.
got
Arnold?
170 now. I want bed, so I guess I'm dead.
Okay. So, and then the last thing is, are you working right now, Mr. Arnold?
No, I'm on exercise.
What'd you say?
I get unemployment. I get disability. Disability.
Okay, disability. And so based on that, sir, I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, okay?
Yeah.
All right, sir. I believe that's all I have for you. So your next court date is gonna be February 27th at 8:30 a.m.
That was too much.
And then I'm giving you a lawyer, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Yeah, huh?
Man, I'm good.
Come on, Mr. Campbell.
All right. All right, so are you Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell, you are charged here with 1 count of improper lane change, 1 count of driving with a invalid tag, driving with a suspended license, also driving with no registration, and then finally failure to change your address. You did have an initial bond. However, I've dismissed the failure to change address, and then I'm going to release you on the remaining charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Now, it doesn't mean that your charges are going to go away. It just means that you are being released from custody. So you will have to make sure that whatever your best address is, that we do have that address on file here at the sheriff's office so that they'll be able to contact you for your next court date, okay?
All right.
Now, I see here you're working. However, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer, okay?
All right.
Now, because you're being released today, deputies, they're going to have some paperwork for you to sign. You'll sign that paperwork, and once you do sign it, then you'll be out of here today, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions of me?
No, I don't.
All right, sir. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, give me 1 moment here, deputy.
Yes, sir.
So this is Campbell. We dismiss that charge. Did waive. All right. So I'm showing Denoris Dozier should be next and Taylor Dunn.
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Dozier?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dozier, you're charged with 1 count of driving with no tag, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, possession by a firearm by a convicted felon, 2 counts of felony drugs, 1 count of drug-related objects, and then lastly, 1 count of theft by receipt of stolen property. Do you understand what you're charged with, sir?
Yes.
Now, are you currently working, sir?
Yes, sir.
How much are you earning per month?
Probably like 15.
Okay. Now, do you have any children?
Yes, sir.
How many?
2.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, sir. Now, if you don't make your bond, your next court date is going to be February 26th, and that's going to be via Zoom here in the Clayton County Jail. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Now, we're going to go over your bond amounts here. That operation of an unregistered vehicle, so not having the registration or tag, that's $500 bond.
Can I
The
ask?
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish, and I'll let you talk to me. The firearm charge is $10,000. The convicted felon charge is $10,000. The possession of the drugs is $3,500. Possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana is $500. Drug-related objects is $1,000, and theft by receipt of stolen property is $4,000. So your total bond is $29,500. Do you understand that? You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I know you said you had some questions of me. How can I help you?
I was giving the officer, I had just bought the car, and I thought in state law.
Sir, hold on.
I'm sorry.
So what we're getting into the facts of your case. So I know it may seem like that will be helpful, but you don't want to tell me that information. Remember, this is being recorded.
Right.
So that's sort of information you want to keep to speak to your attorney about, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
All right, you done?
Mr. Dunn?
Yep, should be Mr. Dunn. And after Dunn, I've got Folks and Lopez. Are you Mr. Dunn?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dunn, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. Are you working currently, Mr. Dunn?
Yes, sir.
How much are you earning per month?
Right now, it's kind of like a little sketchy, boss man.
All right, so I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer, sir. We talked earlier about the preliminary hearing, sir. Would you like to have your hearing or waive your hearing?
What's the difference?
Just get your case over sooner. I'll send your case over to the prosecutor much faster if you tell me you want to waive it.
And when I get that mean I can still go to trial?
Well, if you want to go to trial, yeah, that doesn't matter. Whether you waive your hearing or not doesn't matter. Your preliminary,
No, I'm listening, my bad.
Your preliminary hearing is a hearing you have if you don't make your bond, and it'll be you, the judge, and your officer, and your attorney, and you'll talk about whether or not there's enough evidence against you. If there is, then it's sent to the prosecutor. Or I can go ahead, skip that hearing, and send it on to the prosecutor and get you ready for trial. Which one do you want? So why don't we do this? Just to protect you, we'll set that hearing date, and if you make your bond, you won't have it. That hearing date, sir, is going to be February 27th.
I want to waive it.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to show that you are waiving your right to your preliminary hearing. So the deputy is going to have a piece of paper there for you to sign. You'll sign that. I've appointed you a lawyer here this morning, sir. Your bond amount, I'm not sure if I told you that, so let me tell you your bond. Your bond is $3,500. Do you understand that?
Why is it $3,500?
Well, that's what we do here in Clayton County. That's the amount, sir.
Oh, so I got to pay 10% of that?
15%. So you'd be roughly coming out about $500.
Okay.
And you will have special conditions upon your release. You'll have to stay away from the alleged victim, Breonna Hall, and you will also have to stay away from the address of 340 Upper Riverdale Road. So if that's where you were living before this happened, until your case is closed, you will have to stay away. And if there's any documents there that you need, any clothing you need from there, you will need a sheriff to go with you within 10 days of your release to get it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions for me, sir?
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right.
All right, folks. Then Lopez. All right. Are you Mr. Folks?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Folks, are you currently working?
Yes.
How much are you making per month?
It varies on my businesses.
Okay. About how much on average?
Probably like 3,500.
All right. So you're charged, sir, with 1 count of no license and 1 count of speeding. Because of the information you've provided, you will have to get your own lawyer if you would like one on your case. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I have had a chance to review the information here, and currently your bond amount, I'm going to tell you what your bond is on each of these charges, Mr. Folks. Your bond amount for the No license is going, or excuse me, suspended license is 1,500. The bond amount for the speeding is 1,000. Your total bond is going to be 2,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any? I've given you a lawyer. You're going to have to hire your own lawyer. Excuse me. You're going to hire your own lawyer. You are charged with the misdemeanor. Let's talk about this preliminary hearing. Did you hear me earlier when I talked about what a preliminary hearing is?
Yes, sir.
All right. So just to kind of go over everything with you again, a preliminary hearing, is where the officer's there, you're there, and you're going to talk about your case and whether there's enough evidence to go against you. So you, as being charged with a misdemeanor, you have a right to that hearing, or you can waive it. It's up to you how you choose to proceed. What would you like to do, sir? Would you like to have that hearing or waive that hearing?
I'll waive it.
All right, sir. So I'm going to show here this morning that you have chosen, Mr. Folks, to waive your right to that hearing. And so having waived that right, sir, there will be some information there that the deputies are going to hand you. They're going to have you sign off on that information. And once you sign that information, sir, that's all we have for you this morning, okay?
You say the bond 2,500, Judge?
2,500. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Write it down, there's a piece of paper.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
I appreciate it.
Should be Mr. Lopez next. All right. Are you Mr. Lopez?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Lopez, you are charged with 1 count of driving with no license, 1 count of loitering or prowling, and 1 count of possession of drugs here. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me 1 moment here. Just catch up. Okay. All right, give me 1 second here. We'll take Okay. All right. Now, so Mr. Lopez, I provided you your charges here. Now, because you are charged with a felony, I'm going to give you your next court date. Should you not make your bond that I'm going to give you here shortly, your next court date is going to be February 26th, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, because you are currently not working, sir, I am going to go ahead and I am going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer that will assist you on your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as your bond amount for the license, your bond amount is going to be driving without a license. It's a $1,000 bond. Okay. As to the loitering or prowling, your bond amount is $1,000. And then as to the felony drugs, it's $3,500 for a total bond of $5,500. Do you understand that?
Sir.
Do you have any questions about that part, sir?
Do I gotta pay all that at once?
Well, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but you got a couple options. Option 1 is you can pay it all at once, plus any mandated fees. Option 2, you can use a bonding company. And if you so choose to use a bonding company, you'd have to come up with about 15% of that they don't return to you, which means you'll have to pay about $500, and then you'll be able to be out on bond. Or you can use a property bond where somebody can put up their house to let you out on bond, okay?
All right.
Any other questions?
That'll be all. Thank you.
All right, I believe that. Good luck to you, sir. That
Thank
takes
you.
us to Mr. Thurman, Jabari Thurman, and Brandon Walker.
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Thurman?
Yes, sir.
All right, give me 1 second here, Mr. Thurman. All right, so Mr. Thurman, you're charged with speeding. You're charged with 1 count of driving with a suspended license and 1 count of driving without a tag. Mr. Thurman, your bond amount is going to be 500 for the speeding, 1,500 for the suspended license, and 500 for the no insurance for a total bond of 2,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Right on
because
this.
you are charged with misdemeanor, sir, you have a right to a preliminary hearing that I spoke of earlier, or you could waive that right to that hearing, and I can send your case on up to the prosecutors, get this case moving much faster. Which would you like me to do? Would you like to have that hearing or waive that hearing?
Wave.
All right, so I'm going to show that you've waived your hearing. And are you currently working, sir?
No, sir.
All right, so I will give you a court-appointed lawyer too on your case, should you need one. Okay, you've waived your preliminary hearing, your misdemeanor. I'm giving you a court-appointed lawyer. I told you your bond amount this morning. Your bond amount is $2,500. So I believe, sir, that's all I have for you. Is there any questions you have for me?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you. Next up should be Mr. Walker.
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Walker, you are charged with one count of violation of the Felony Controlled Substances Act, one count of possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana is what they have here. Are you currently working, sir?
Oh, yes, sir.
How much are you earning per month? It says about 2,400.
Oh, yes, sir. That's correct.
Do you have any children, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, so based on that, sir, I am not going to be able to appoint you a lawyer this morning. And so if you want a lawyer, you will have to hire your own. Do you understand that?
Oh, yes, sir. Could I ask, is it because of the kids or is it because of the kids and because I work?
I cannot answer that, sir.
I was just asking.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
And so I've told you, you'll have to hire your own lawyer. Your next court date, sir, is going to be February 26th, and that's going to be 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your bond amount, so the bond on the felony drugs is 3,500. On the marijuana is 500. Your total bond is 4,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. 4,000.
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions of me about anything?
No, sir. I just want you to have a good rest of your day.
All right, sir. Same to you. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
That's it, sir.
All right, Madam Deputy, did you all have a Kawine Wesley, or did that individual make bond?
No, he's, we had him, his last name was Poe.
Oh, he was up here twice. Okay. Okay, they had him in here twice in Jots. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
You too, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.